You're not here by coincidence. Something deeper, an invisible pull, a silent signal, a subtle frequency, has brought you to this very moment. Perhaps you've always sensed it. That quiet dissonance inside. The feeling that, no matter how much you achieve, something still feels misaligned. You lie awake, asking questions no one around you seems to understand. Why do I feel disconnected? Why does the world around me feel like a loop I can't break? You've tried working harder, staying positive, distracting yourself. But the emptiness remains, whispering that you're meant for something more. Maybe you've always been the one who notices what others miss. The tension in a room, the energy. Behind words, the patterns no one else talks about. That's not a flaw, it's a sign. You're not broken, you're waking up. And that ache inside you, it's not confusion, it's a calling. This isn't about motivation or thinking differently. It's about unlocking a hidden force that's been waiting within you all along. Your consciousness. Not just the thoughts in your head, but the raw creative energy shaping everything around you. Every delay, every cycle, every sense of being, stuck. It all stems from a single source, and once you see it, you'll never unsee it. So ask yourself this now. What's truly creating the life you wake up to every single day? It's you. It's your consciousness. The truth is both unsettling and liberating. Everything you experience, every challenge, every breakthrough, every cycle that repeats itself isn't simply happening to you. It's emerging from you. Your consciousness is not passive, not a background process. It's the silent architect shaping every detail of your reality. The universe is not fixed. It's fluid, a canvas waiting to respond. And your beliefs, your emotions, your expectations, they're the brushstrokes coloring your experience. At the quantum level, you're not just watching life unfold. You're collapsing infinite possibilities into form, choosing which version of reality becomes solid by where you focus your awareness. Just like tuning a radio, your inner state locks you into a specific frequency, a specific version of life, whether you realize it or not. When you carry guilt, fear, or scarcity, you magnetize a world that mirrors it back. When you cultivate peace, clarity, or certainty, you shift into a version of reality where those qualities surround you. The patterns that feel stuck are not random. They're feedback, not punishment, not failure. Feedback. Your reality is a mirror, unforgivingly honest, endlessly precise. It's not about blame, it's about power. This means that change doesn't begin outside of you. It starts the moment you reclaim your role as the source, not the victim. You've always had this power, but no one taught you how to use it. Maybe they didn't know either. Now you do. The question is, are you ready to remember? To see the patterns for what they are, not destiny, but data? And if you truly hold this power, if your awareness is the force behind the scenes, then why, with all this potential, do you still find yourself tangled in suffering, hesitation, and fear? Because you've been living with an old operating system, one programmed by fear, scarcity, and the belief that you're not enough. You were never born thinking you had to prove your worth or earn your place. These thoughts were inherited, absorbed, passed down through generations and environments that didn't understand your light. Somewhere along the way, you started believing them. That you're not ready, that you're too broken, that you must constantly strive just to deserve the basics. But those beliefs were never yours to begin with. They were installed like code in a machine, silently running in the background, influencing every decision, every hesitation, every self-doubt. Your ego, shaped by those old programs, clings to familiarity. It fears the unknown, even when the unknown holds your freedom. It whispers that change is dangerous, that staying small is safer. But that crack you feel inside, the tension, the restlessness, it's not a flaw. It's the pressure of your true self trying to break through the shell of who you were told to be. You're not falling apart. You're waking up. The pain is not punishment. It's the resistance of outdated programming meeting the rising frequency of your awareness. You were never meant to fit inside a version of life built on fear. You were meant to question it, to outgrow it, to transcend it. The shift begins, not by fighting your thoughts, but by seeing them clearly and recognizing that they are not you. You are the one witnessing them, the awareness behind the noise. And in that awareness lies your power to choose again, to rewrite the script, to become the conscious author of your reality. But the question remains, how do you break free from those invisible chains and install a new program that reflects who you truly are? Reprogramming your consciousness doesn't come from forcing or pushing. It begins with alignment, with the highest version of who you truly are. You are not the stream of thoughts passing through your mind. You are the awareness observing them. The moment you realize this, everything shifts. You stop identifying with limitations and start choosing with intention. Your subconscious is like fertile soil. Whatever seeds you plant, beliefs, emotions, behaviors, will grow. If you keep repeating what you've always done, you keep living the same reality. But if you begin to feed your mind with new affirmations, embody new emotional states, and act from a future vision instead of past habits, your brain rewires itself. This is neuroplasticity in motion. The old patterns lose strength. New pathways are carved. Every time you take action from the version of you that already lives the life you desire, you install a new frequency into your system. You're not pretending. You're rehearsing a new truth. You become the signal that attracts a matching reality. And the more consistent you are, the stronger that signal becomes. This process is not about perfection. It's about presence. Can you pause in the middle of your day and ask, who am I being right now? Am I choosing from the past or responding from the future I say I want? That awareness is the compass. When your choices, emotions, and energy reflect the person you are becoming, you create a magnetic field that pulls that version of life toward you. This is not imagination, it's inner technology. You don't chase the new reality, you tune into it. But then comes the real test. How do you know if you've truly aligned with the version of life you've been calling in? How do you recognize the signs that your inner world is syncing with the external reality you desire? When you're in alignment, the universe sends signals. Those so-called coincidences, the moments when time slows down, when opportunities unfold effortlessly, those are not accidents. They are confirmations, evidence that you've connected. You're no longer chasing, you're receiving. You're tuned into the frequency where what you desire already exists. Instead of pulling your dream toward you, you step into the version of life where it's already real. The thing you've been searching for is also searching for you. And when you match its vibration, it finds you faster than logic can explain. These moments feel surreal yet deeply familiar, like stepping into a memory you haven't lived yet. You don't force them. You recognize them. You follow the nudges, the whispers, the magnetic pull that says, yes, this is the way. But here's what most forget. This connection is not a one-time moment. It's a state you return to again and again through presence and awareness. It's a dialogue, not a destination. You don't just align once and expect everything to stay perfect. You cultivate it. You choose it repeatedly, especially when doubt creeps in. The signals grow stronger the more you trust them, the more you act from alignment instead of reaction. The more you surrender trying to control and instead allow life to guide you. When you feel light, clear, open, that's alignment. When doors open without force, that's resonance. But the question arises, and it's real. If I can feel this connection, if I can access this state, why can't I stay in it? What keeps pulling me out? What stops me from living in that aligned frequency as my default, not just in rare, magical moments? The only thing standing in your way is the illusion of fear. It's not that you're unprepared or incapable, it's that somewhere deep inside you've been convinced you're not worthy. Fear is clever. It disguises itself as logic, caution, even self-care. But at its core, it's a smokescreen, designed by your ego to keep you from stepping into the unknown. It tells you to wait, to prepare more, to hold back until everything feels safe. But that feeling never comes, because fear doesn't want you to move. It wants control. What you call procrastination isn't laziness, it's protection. Your mind is trying to shield you from discomfort, from rejection, from the possibility of falling short. Yet every time you choose to delay, you're still making a choice. And that choice creates momentum, just in the opposite direction. Inaction builds a reality too, one where regret grows louder than hope, one where time slips through your fingers while fear watches in silence. But here's the truth. You don't need to feel fearless to take action. You just need to stop believing that fear means stop. You're allowed to move forward with shaking hands and a pounding heart. Courage isn't the absence of doubt, it's choosing anyway. Every small step you take in the presence of fear is a signal to your brain. It says, I'm safe, I'm capable, I decide. And each time you override hesitation, you weaken its grip. You show your nervous system that action doesn't equal danger. It equals freedom. But how do you act when the doubt still screams louder than your desire? How do you move when fear feels like a wall instead of a whisper? How can you choose from power instead of protection? Start small, right now, from within. Transformation is not always about grand leaps or dramatic shifts. It often begins with one quiet choice made in a single moment of clarity. Ask yourself, who do I want to become? And what would that version of me choose in this exact situation? Then pause. Breathe deeply. Feel that subtle but powerful shift as your inner state changes. That breath is not just oxygen, it's intention. A signal that says, I'm no longer living on autopilot. Every small decision made from this new awareness becomes a declaration. It says, I am ready. I'm no longer driven by past patterns or fear-based instincts. I am responding from my future. You don't need to have it all figured out. You don't need perfect confidence or flawless execution. What matters is presence. Can you stay conscious in the ordinary moments? Can you choose your thoughts, your energy, your next move, not from habit, but from the frequency of who you are becoming? This is the secret of embodiment. It's not performance, it's practice. One aligned choice at a time, layered day by day, becomes the architecture of your upgraded self. The more often you act from that place, the more natural it becomes. That version of you stops being a vision and starts becoming familiar. You stop chasing and begin embodying. This is not pretending, it's remembering. But once you've tapped into that energy, once you've felt the certainty of who you really are, how do you hold on to it? How do you stay connected to that elevated version of yourself when daily life tries to pull you back into old patterns? How do you anchor that new identity so deeply that it becomes your new normal? It's not just about understanding, you must embody. Real transformation isn't what you say in moments of motivation, it's what you breathe out every morning. It's in the calm behind your eyes, the way you carry yourself when no one is watching. It's in how you walk into a room without needing to prove anything, because your energy already speaks for you. This is embodiment. A frequency that lives in your body, not just your mind. You don't fake being someone else. You remember who you've always been. The practices are simple but powerful. Mindfulness, breath, self-affirmation, gratitude. These aren't routines for self-improvement. They are neural shortcuts to the version of you that already exists beyond fear. Each breath taken with intention is a code. Each moment of presence rewires old patterns. You're not building something new. You're peeling away what was never truly you. This level of being can't be forced. It's cultivated. You grow into it by aligning thought, feeling, and action. Over and over, until your nervous system accepts it as the new baseline. It becomes automatic, natural, effortless. The shift is subtle, yet undeniable. You start living from a deeper place of knowing, not trying to be certain, simply being it. This is when embodiment becomes real, when your entire presence becomes a transmission, not words but vibration, not explanation but demonstration. Yet, as this new self emerges, another question rises. Does this inner work matter beyond just you? Will it ripple outward? Does this deep shift in how you live, think, and feel have any true impact on the world around you? Or are you just changing your inner landscape while the outer world remains the same? Your transformation is not just personal, it resonates with the collective. You are not isolated in your growth. You are part of a larger movement, an invisible network of awakening souls across the planet. Every time you shift your energy, choose courage over fear, or respond with awareness instead of reaction, you send a signal. That signal doesn't stop with you. It ripples. It affects those around you, silently, energetically, unmistakably. Your presence gives permission. When someone sees you embody peace, clarity, and inner power, it activates something in them, not through preaching, through example. This is how real change spreads. Not by force, but by frequency. You may not see the results instantly, but the impact is real. You become a node in a global grid, lifting the vibration for others to step into. The more of us who live from this elevated state, the more it becomes the dominant tone of our shared reality. And when enough people hold that frequency, a new world begins to emerge. Not through external revolution, but through internal evolution. This is the quiet power of alignment. One person fully embodied is more influential than 100 still caught in survival. Your transformation contributes to something greater. You're not just healing your own timeline. You're helping shift the collective story. You being clear helps others find their clarity. You standing tall makes space for others to rise. You matter in ways you may never fully understand. But once you feel this truth, once you realize the scale of your impact, the question becomes urgent. If who you are now already creates waves, then what is the next step you must take? What move aligns most deeply with the path unfolding in front of you? What choice invites the future you've glimpsed to arrive fully and stay? Stop waiting for another sign. You are the sign. Stop holding back until conditions feel perfect. You are already enough. The perfect moment you keep postponing your life for is now, not tomorrow, not someday. This exact breath, this exact choice, this exact heartbeat, this is your doorway. The future you've been dreaming of isn't waiting for you to be flawless. It's waiting for you to be present. Stop rehearsing your worth. Start receiving what has always been yours. You've done the inner work. You've faced the doubts, questioned the patterns, remembered the truth. And now, the invitation is clear. Step in, speak it, live it. You are no longer the seeker. You are the embodiment of what you once searched for. Let every cell in your body echo the words, "I am ready to receive all that already belongs to me." Declare it, not as a wish, but as a knowing. Share this energy. Let someone else feel the shift by watching you stand in your power. Let your clarity light the path for someone still searching. If you felt something stir inside during this journey, that was not random. That was remembrance. Like this message, subscribe to stay connected. And most of all, share this with someone who is ready to wake up. You never know whose life will transform with one simple message delivered at the right moment. Thank you, from the depth of my heart, for choosing this video among countless others. That choice was not accidental. It was alignment, a frequency match, a calling answered. And from this point forward, a new chapter begins. One where you are no longer waiting. One where you lead. One where you walk boldly into the life that's been calling your name all along. The journey begins now.